What is up, YouTube? This is Instinct, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a video on something that is brand new to the game Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This new thing is found in your Create a class, and it's called the Exo Abilities. There are 8 Exo Abilities, and they're brand new to the game Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and they can get a little confusing, and that's why we're going to go over them today. We're going to go over, what each one of them does, what it looks like, and how to use them to the best of your abilities. There are 2 things that you guys need to know about these Exo Abilities in general. The first is that they are all controlled using time-oriented methods. So, for example, the Exo Shield that we're going to talk about in a minute lasts you 4 seconds, whereas other Exo Abilities might last you longer. So they're not things that you can, just use once. They're all time-oriented, and they're all different times. The second is that you use your Exo Abilities using the LB button. Just like you would throw a stun grenade in past Call of Duties, that's how you're going to be able to use your Exo Abilities for the game Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So let's jump into our first Exo Ability, which is the Exo Shield. So guys, for all of these Exo Abilities, I'm going to be going over, a few key points for each one, and then at the end of the video, we're going to take a look at what each one does. So really pay attention to the facts that I'm giving you, because they could be really important in understanding each one. So the first one, the Exo Shield, the description is quickly deploy a portable shield attached to your arm. So what it looks like in the game is almost like a riot shield that you're able to get for a few seconds. Now the important things to know about the Exo Shield is that it lasts 4 seconds and that you have to hold the LB button in order for it to be deployed. So if you just click the LB button, the shield will come up and go away. So if you want to use the Exo Shield ability, you have to make sure that you hold down that left bumper for the amount of time that you want it. Again, the maximum time you're allowed to have the Exo Shield is 4 seconds. So the second Exo ability that we're going to talk about is called the Exo Overclock. And what the Exo Overclock does is it gives you a temporary speed boost, almost like the lightweight perk in past Call of Duties, that allows you to run faster for a period of 12 seconds. So that's something that you need to remember, is that the Exo Overclock lasts for 12 seconds. Another thing to remember about all the rest of the Exo abilities that we're going to talk about is that you only need to click the left bumper button. You don't need to hold it like you would in the Exo Shield. So the 2 things that you need to know about this Exo ability is that you only need to click the LB button, and that it gives you a faster speed of running for a period of 12 seconds. So our third Exo ability is called the Exo Mute device. And like it says in the description, the Exo Mute device silences your footsteps almost like dead silence in the last Call of Duties. Another thing to remember about the Exo Mute device is that it lasts 20 seconds and is one of the longer Exo abilities that you can equip. So again, the 2 things that you have to remember about this Exo ability is 1, it silences your footsteps, and 2, it lasts at max 20 seconds. So the next Exo ability that we're going to talk about is called the Exo Stim. And through the description, you can see that it says temporarily generate health beyond normal levels. So what that means is it's almost like a Juggernaut from Call of Duty 4, in the fact that it gives you a little bit more health than you normally would have. The only disadvantage is that it only lasts 4 seconds. So once you hit the Exo abilities for the Exo Stim, you only have a very short duration where you have that increased health. So you're only going to really use it when you really know you're going to go into a gunfight. So it might be pretty hard to judge when to use it and when not to. So again, the 2 things you have to remember about this is that Exo Stim increases your max health, and 2, it only lasts 4 seconds. So our next Exo ability that we're going to talk about is called the Exo Cloak. Now what the Exo Cloak does is it gives you this sort of blend-in look to your surroundings, and it makes you sort of less visible to your opponents if they don't really know where you are. If your opponent knows where you are, they're going to be able to still see you, but at the same time, if they don't really know where you are and you're sort of kind of far away from them, the Exo Cloak allows you to sort of blend in with your surroundings so that you're a lot harder to see. Another thing that you have to know is that the Exo Cloak only lasts 10 seconds. And third is that when you shoot with the Exo Cloak, it cancels out almost like if you would hit the LB button, and it stops the time that you're in cloak. So it sort of doesn't allow you to be in Exo Cloak anymore. So say you're 5 seconds into the cloak and somebody runs by and you shoot them, it sort of disables it, so you still have 5 seconds left, but it doesn't allow you to shoot while you're still cloaked, for example. So the things that you have to remember is that 1, Exo Cloak allows you to temporarily blend in with your surroundings and you're not completely invisible. 2, it lasts 10 seconds. And 3 is that you lose your Exo Cloak if you decide to shoot. So the Exo Hover Exo ability is an ability that allows you to, like it says, hover in midair for a certain duration of time. Now, it's really kind of tricky as to how long you can hover because it all depends on whether you're moving while in the air or not. If you just go and use your, double jump and you boost up into the air and you hit the hover button and you don't move, you can hover there for a maximum of 8 seconds. But while you're in the air, if you decide to sort of strafe and move, it's going to burn that amount of time a lot quicker so that you're only able to, be in the air for around 2 or 3 seconds. So the things that you have to remember about the Exo Hover Exo ability is that 1, it allows you to hover in midair after your, double jump boost or, whatever you call that to get into the air. And 2, it really depends on whether you move around while you're in the air. If you're in the air and you only stand still, you're allowed to hover for a maximum of 8 seconds, but if you're moving around, it's only for a maximum of about 2 or 3 seconds in the air. So our second to last Exo ability is called Exo Ping. And what Exo Ping does is it allows you to see through objects or through walls to see your opponent's movement. And the word movement in the description is really key because I actually had a hard time understanding what Exo Ping did because I was looking up into my little radar at the top to try to see opponents or even trying to look through walls. But the way that it works is that your opponent needs to be moving on the other side of the wall in order for you to see them. If they're just camping in a corner and you use this Exo ability, they're not going to come up on your screen, your HUD, which is sort of like your line of sight is what I think of it as, and it only lasts 6 seconds. So the things that you have to know about this Exo ability is 1, your opponent needs to be moving in order for it to work, in order for you to be able to see them through a wall, and 2 is that it only lasts 6 seconds. Go. So our last Exo ability is called the Exo Trophy System. And like other Call of Duties, the Trophy System allows you to destroy incoming projectiles like frag grenades, Semtex grenades, anything like that that are coming at you to quote-unquote try to kill you. The things that you need to know about this Exo Trophy System is that it lasts 20 seconds and that the time decreases after you've blown something up. So like I said, it lasts 20 seconds, but say somebody throws something in, it doesn't sort of blow up after 2 or totally decrease your time after 2. So say right when it starts, somebody throws something in at you, it almost takes away just about half of your time so that you're no longer able to use it for 20 seconds, you only have it for about 10. So that's, I think, where it says in the description a maximum of 2 incoming projectiles, but the 2 things that you have to remember are 1, it lasts for a maximum of 20 seconds, and 2, you're able to destroy a maximum of 2 enemy projectiles during that 20-second period. So now that we have an idea of what all the Exo abilities do, let's take a look at what all of the Exo abilities look like when they're actually in the game. So let's take a look at the Exo abilities. This Exo ability is the Exo Shield, and like I said, it lasts 4 seconds and it's almost like a riot shield when you use it. This Exo ability is called the Exo Overclock, which allows you to run for a maximum period of 12 seconds at a faster speed. Like you see here, I turn the Exo Clock off, which allows me to save that extra last couple seconds, but when I turn it back on, I can still use that extra gain of speed. This Exo ability is called the Mute Device. In a second, I'm going to turn it on, which silences my footsteps for a maximum of 20 seconds. I'm also going to turn it back off, and I'm going to stay quiet so that you can distinctly hear the difference between when it's on and when it's off. As you can see, there is a distinct difference between the 2 sounds. This Exo ability is called Exo Stim. As you can see here, my opponent was able to kill me with 1 hit or 1 knife or whatever you want to call it. And here, when I use the Exo Stim, my opponent tries to hit me but can't because I have that extra little bit of health. This next Exo ability is the Exo Cloak, and as you can see, I do blend in pretty well with my surroundings. As I go and I lay sort of up against this thing here, you can see that I am pretty well camouflaged, but if I decide to shoot or if the 10 seconds run out, I am no longer camouflaged anymore. This Exo ability is the Exo Hover and allows me to hover, and as long as I'm not moving, I can hover for up to 8 seconds. As you can see here, I'm about to throw a grenade at myself, and when I go up to hover for the second time, I'm going to show you what it looks like moving around. So when I move around, the amount of time that you're able to hover decreases significantly to about 2 or 3 seconds. This is the Exo Ping, and as you can see, when my opponent isn't moving, I'm not able to see them through the wall, but as they move around, I'm able to see what they do through the wall for a maximum of 6 seconds. This last Exo ability, called the Exo Trophy, lasts for a maximum of 20 seconds, but once a grenade is thrown at you, the time decreases by half, only allowing you to blow up 2 incoming grenades. So thanks guys for sticking it through this video. If you guys like this content, please be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Thanks guys, see you later.